So today we're going to be changing the oil on a 2008 Saturn Outlook. Now if you take a look here, it says 37% oil life remaining. So we're going to be changing the oil on this. I'm going to be taking you through the steps on how to do it so you don't mess up and so that the oil change is completely done. So once again, it's at 37%, and we'll go ahead and pop the hood, which is down here, this lever, open it up, and let's get under the hood. Alright, now so to open the hood, as you can see down there, if you look down there, you see that? Lift this up, and the hood comes right up. Now apparently the hood latch doesn't work because this thing is completely blown. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this, put it somewhere there, and then I'm going to put it there to hold the hood up in place. Alright, so I have it hooked up onto the transmission. So now next thing we're going to do is take out the oil dipstick, make sure it's completely out, and we're also going to take off the oil cap so that we don't cause a vacuum and so that all the oil can come out easily. Oh, that oil cap was on there tight. Ooh, this oil cap is on tight. I'm going to take this oil cap off real quick. Now that the oil cap is off and the oil dipstick, we can go ahead and jack the car up and get underneath, place the jack stands. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to jack the car up from a metal frame. Now if we're looking underneath, we can see this piece right here, that's metal. So we're going to be jacking up the car from there. Before we jack the car up, we want to put the e-brake on so that the car doesn't roll. So push it on and engage it. Then we're going to chalk off the rear wheel, just like that. Now we have extra safety so the car doesn't roll. Now we can go ahead and jack the car up. Now that the wheels are off the ground, now that the wheels are off the ground, I'm gonna show you where to place the jack stands. Alright, so where you're gonna want to place the jack stand is right here. You see this? You place the jack stand right there. And on the other side, I'm gonna show you where to place it because the other side is different. So we'll go ahead, get the jack stand, place it underneath just like that. And now let's do the other side. So on this side, you can place the jack stand somewhere. So you're gonna place it right there. So as you can see, it's going to be placed right there because that's metal. That's the point for the jack stand. So now we can lower the car and check if the jack stands don't hit anything. So we'll go ahead and lower the car slowly and watch the jack stands and make sure they don't hit anything. Just like that. The jack stands are on. So now we can get underneath and look for the oil drain plug. Alright, when you're looking for your oil drain plug, you're most likely going to look for a pan. So this is the pan right here. As you can see, this is the oil drain plug right there. That bolt right there is the oil drain plug. And that one is a 15 millimeter. So we're going to go ahead and loosen it up with a wrench. Alright, so this is the drain plug. And we're going to be using a 15 millimeter wrench to loosen it up. So get the wrench and then break it free. Just like that. Get your oil pan ready, or your oil catch can ready so we can loosen up the bolt. And once it comes off, be prepared because this is going to be very messy. Alright, so now that the oil drain plug is completely removed, so if I turn it, it's just going to keep spinning. But once we remove it, you can see oil is coming out now. So now we're just going to wait for all the oil to come out. And meanwhile, we're going to take off the oil filter. So I'm going to go ahead and show you where the oil... So the oil filter is located right here actually. So if you take a look down there, turn the light on. You see that blue filter? That's the oil filter. That's the thing we're going to have to remove. But we have to wait for the oil to drain because the filter is more on the front. The oil drain plug is more in the back. So we're going to have to wait for the oil to drain to take this off. Now that the oil is completely drained, all it is just drips. You can go ahead and screw in the drain plug. Now I will mention, you have to replace the washer on drain plugs, but whenever I do it, it doesn't really fail on me, so using the old washer won't hurt. Tighten it down by hand, and now we can go ahead and snug it up with the 15 millimeter. Don't tighten it down too hard, just enough. Just like that. And now we can remove the oil filter. Now we want to align the drain pan or the drain catch can where the oil filter is, because all the oil is going to be going down to the drain catch can. And as you can see here, you can see that it's lined up. You can't really see, but it is lined up. So now we can go ahead and take that filter off. Now we can go ahead and get the filter off. So the filter is coming right off. Now you can see I poked holes in it because this thing was really tight, and I don't have pliers and I don't have time to go get pliers right now because I want to try to finish this oil change fast. But I poked some holes with the long screwdriver and then twisted it, and that actually worked to break it free. But as long as this oil filter is off, that's good. And it doesn't matter because this filter is not even going to be reused or anything, so this filter is just completely gone. We're going to have to throw this away anyway, so now we can go ahead and get the new one on. Now, since this is a sideways filter, there's no way I can put some oil in the filter. I usually like to do that, but you can at least put some oil on this O-ring so that it's not stuck on there. But real quick, you want to check and make sure that the O-ring from the other filter is not on here. Otherwise, you're going to have two O-rings. And there's nothing there, so now we can go ahead and get this filter, lubricate the O-ring with some of the oil, and then we can get it back on. Spin it on there. Tighten it down by hand only. Do not tighten it down with any tools, because whoever did this oil change last time did tighten it down with tools. That's why it was so hard to get off. But now that the new filter's on, all we gotta do is put oil in the car and we're done. And then we can lower the car. So I went ahead and lowered the car. As you can see, the car is now off the ground, or it's on the ground. And now we can go ahead and put oil right there. That's where the oil is gonna go. So we're gonna grab some 5W30 oil, which I got right here. This is 5 quarts. We're gonna need a funnel. So we're gonna place the funnel there and then put oil in the engine. All right, so I got my funnel in. So now we can go ahead and pour all 5 quarts of oil. Pour it in sideways, which is gonna be a better and smoother, just like that. And we're gonna be pouring in all 5 quarts because this engine takes 5 quarts of oil. This is the 3.6 V6 engine. Just like that, and then we'll let the bottle drain the rest of the way. We'll set the bottle up. And then we're gonna put the dipstick back in and check if the oil is filled up to the top. So I got the oil cap back on, and now we're gonna put the dipstick back on, which just slides in there. Make sure it's all the way in there. Pull it back out. Then we're gonna clean it off and then put it back in one more time. And pull it out one more time and check the oil level. And as you can see, the oil is completely full. It's to the 3rd bubble. Well, it's almost, just a little bit, but it's almost to the 3rd bubble, which is good because that means it's almost full. I'm gonna pour a little bit more oil in here just so that it's full. But now that that's done, we can go ahead and clean up and close the hood, and then I'm gonna show you how to reset the oil life on the dashboard. So now what we'll do is we'll get in the car, and I'm gonna show you how to reset the oil life. So put the key in the ignition, don't turn it on, just put the key in the ignition, put it to the run position, and it's gonna show the percentage is still low. So you have to reset that manually. So how to reset that is, you see these right here? This one is to reset it. So you're gonna hold it down, and you can see 100% oil life remaining now. This is to switch to different units here. So as you can see, we got different kinds. So now it's at 100%, and that's how you reset the oil life. Now we're gonna start the car up so that the oil can go through the oil filter, since we put that in dry. And we'll let it run for about 5 minutes just so that the oil can circulate through the engine and lubricate all the components and stuff, and so that the oil filter can get lubricated too. Don't rev it up or anything, just like I did. That was a mistake. But we're gonna let this sit for 5 minutes. So it's been about 5 minutes. The car is running perfectly fine, really smooth, no engine noise or anything. This car is now ready to get back on the road, and that is how you change the oil in a 2008 Saturn Outlook. This process also works for any car pretty much, as long as you do the right steps and you get the right correct oil and the correct filter. Make sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and that's how you change the oil in your car. I'll see you guys in the next video.